What's going on with that woman who is sitting at the bus stop? What's going on in her mind? What is going on with that woman who has her makeup on, looking good? What else is going on with them? My name is Laura Nyahuye. I'm originally from Zimbabwe. I'm a mom to two girls, and one recently turned 16, and I've got a 25-year-old. Yeah, I was raised in a creative family. My mom was a seamstress. I actually did not like that, how she was very intricate in a sewing, because it was like, why do you have to cut paper and draw all these things and cut all these collars and make it so like neat. Little did I know that I'm actually absorbing some things in there. I always say I grew up around a lot of creativity, because creativity was everywhere. I had someone that I call Gogo, I call Mom, my adopted mom. When she found out about what I do, she said, Laura, I think you do really well in working with communities through art. And I constantly rejected that for 3 years. I'll say, no, I want to do fashion. You are advising me, like, you're taking me into another space that I'm not even interested in. But in 2006, 2007, I then volunteered at the Coventry Refugee Center, working with women from refugee and asylum-seeking backgrounds. I led an arts and craft workshops in that place, and I never looked back. So something really shifted in that workshop. It ministered to me. I was going through such a tough time. This was the time that I was going through domestic abuse. In that time, my second daughter was little. I was struggling with childcare. I was struggling financially. I was struggling with a lot of things in that time. But the moment that I stepped into that workshop and we started to do what we were doing, I discovered something connected. This was another form of therapy, going and working with these women, because I was no longer in my little world that was like, oh my gosh, this is happening at home. Oh my gosh, this is happening with family life. No, there were other women like me, some who were going through even challenging situations that were deeper. So for me, it was enlightening. It was soothing. It was peace in that space. And I was like, wow, this is what art does, not only for me, but for others. So that's when my journey of art and community started. Each piece is representing a topic. It's related to my journey and specific times that I've questioned in my own personal life, but it also really threads into, really connects into echoing voices of women from all backgrounds. And the other thing within the project itself, the idea of it was for me to tap into the world of technology and hopefully learn a bit of it and take it further into the next phase of the project. So this is just the beginning of what it could potentially be. This piece is called mukadzi. Mukadzi is a Shona word, translated woman in English. In quotes underneath the seams. So mukadzi is embodying voices, different voices from different women. I invited women to give their thoughts and reflections to do with their relationship with the word resilience, really exploring, is it a friend or is it a foe? Or maybe when they hear the word resilient, what comes up in their mind? In mukadzi, there are voices, there is the technology that will be in there. You see screens. We worked closely with creative technologies, Ben, and we also worked with an animator. So this piece is really, like, I'm finding it very exciting. And then we've got another piece called Shingirira. So Shingirira is really zoning in to domestic abuse and statistics to do with domestic abuse. I'm quite passionate about that subject in itself because of my own experience to do with domestic abuse. And when I started off with the organization that I run, Mawoko, my experience of domestic abuse was quite key. I feel that it's really something that squeezed beautiful things out of me, but at the same time, it was painful. What's in your head translated, Chijiri musoro mako in Shona. What goes on in a woman's head in an everyday life? We are born into a system or a setup that is, the expectancy is already there of us being moms, of us being somehow very nurturing. There's a very high level of expectancy of who we are or what we should be. But then again, there's us in our authentic self. And then there's the day-to-day operating of, it's either you are mothering or you are being an auntie to someone, you are being the carer, you are being the DIY, you are being all these identities in one. You could be in a meeting and you receive a text message from your child who has a crisis at school. The next minute you have to switch off from this place into the school zone. So these are things and responsibilities that come on the plate. Normally, it lands on the woman's plate. That's a little ball in there, full of multiple things that you have to unpick. Yeah, number 4 is warorwa. Warorwa means you are married. It's just giving to the audience that thought, what is their experience and understanding of waror, of marriage in their culture. My 5th piece is Andina Zita. It is what it is. It is what you see, and it's open to the interpretation of the audience. So there was a time, I would say, like for that I Migrated exhibition, in the booklet, you'll find there's somewhere that I wrote, resilience, a must have. But since then, it's no longer set in stone for me. There are questions around mental health in that resilience for me. There are questions around expectancy in our communities. There's a set expectancy that I feel is on women of, like, you have to be strong in order to go through A, B, C, D. You have to be strong in order to go to the next level or wherever that you're going. So what about vulnerability? Because I believe that in vulnerability, there's a lot of strength in being vulnerable. Where do I strike the balance? So I don't have an answer of, like, as in resilience is my friend or resilience is a foe. It's an exploration because I find that it keeps shifting. We often as humans celebrates the wins, and we identify the beginnings and the wins. What is there in the middle? What happened in the journey? What is going on? What happened? What's going on with that woman who is sitting at the bus stop? What's going on in her mind? What is going on with that woman who has her makeup on, looking good? What else is going on with them? Not only are we looking for, I'm not saying let's look for problems, but the joys, the wins, the amazing stories in their lives. What is that? How do we capture that in order to give a message of courage and encouragement to the next generation, in order to give some message of life to somebody out there? That life is a process. We are living in a generation where it's instant, but life there are so many processes. There is a weaving that goes on. Like when I'm weaving whatever it is that I'm weaving, there are stories that are going on in my mind. There are prayers that are going on in my mind. There are women that I'm thinking of. So my process is, something happens, I write. Something doesn't happen, I write. I make, I think, I pray, and it manifests. I want it raw. I don't want the beauty. I want the rawness of life. That is the thing that I want to expose with my process. I want it raw because I believe in the beauty for ashes in life. I believe that beauty is the most significant beauty ever. Like, this is just an amazing piece of cake. How did you get it to be a piece of cake? What ingredients did they put? What spices were mixed in that to make it into this beauty? What is it? What was the process? So in each and every piece within this exhibition, that is the story. All of it, that is the story. It's process, the hidden coming to light.